Did you know that the fear of failure is just a trick that your mind plays on you? And sometimes your mind, it plays little games to hopefully get you to believe something that actually isn't true. So in this video, I'm going to show you that the fear of failure is simply an illusion. My name's Alex Morgan, and I help you align your actions, your beliefs, your dreams, and your thinking so you can achieve success. And success is here, so you might as well be ready for it. You might as well not be scared about having success, and definitely not having a fear of failure. So what is a fear of failure? You think it's important for you to understand this? So when we have a fear of failure, it actually manifests in our lives in different ways. It can lead to things like procrastination, self-doubt. It makes us feel like we're stuck, we're stagnant, we're not willing to do something. We're just sitting there not doing anything because we think it's easier to do that instead of fail. And then we have a fear where we're essentially doing nothing except sitting there, and we don't ever actually achieve anything. And the thing is failure is just a learning opportunity. And in my trainings, we actually teach that there is no failure. There's only feedback. So all successful people, if you were to actually ask them how they do certain things and how they're so good at certain things, one of the things that we would ask them is, how do they get feedback? What kind of feedback do they get from themselves? And who else do they get feedback from, and why? And then how do they implement that feedback? So what do you think's better? Doing nothing, staying in your comfort zone, feeling procrastination and totally stressed and fear? In either way, you're a failure. Or you could do something, you could learn from it, you can gather feedback, and then you can achieve something. I think this would be much better. This would have you feeling really, really good, wouldn't it? So you need to take everything that you do, it's a learning opportunity. Every relationship you've been in, you've learned from. You create meaning from that. Every conversation you have, there's always something that we can learn from every single person. So that's the wonderful thing about actually doing things and not procrastinating and not having a fear of failure, so we can actually achieve things that we want. I'm sure there's plenty of times, if you were to actually think, when were you actually scared to do something? And instead of sitting there and doing nothing, you did something, and what happened? You either learned something, or maybe you found out that this certain thing just wasn't for you. And then you use those same skills, resources, and mentality that you gained to instead do something else. So it's much easier to put in your best effort than to have fear. And also fear of failure, it can also cause things like perfectionism. So people who think that they need to be perfect, do they ever actually achieve what they want? Whereas a person who thinks that they're excellent and tries to be excellent at what they do, they know that they have a different definition of excellence every single day. Their excellence isn't going to be the same every day because they learn things every single day. And it could either get better, or some days they give it their best effort and it just wasn't as good as the day before. However, they're not afraid to fail. They're not afraid to do things. I mean, there's many people, there's many stories out there that you have heard, I'm sure, of people trying things so many times. Thomas Edison, the guy who invented the light bulb, I think he tried 10,000 different ways until he finally found out that it worked the right way. There's so many things, everything that we use in this world, a lot of the ways that we think, everything that we use started with an idea in someone's mind. And if they were too afraid to fail, then we wouldn't have so many things that we use. So you have to think about this for yourself. Everything is an idea in your mind. So if you're thinking you're going to fail, of course, that's going to happen. However, even if you try, even if you give your best effort and block out whatever it is that's holding you back, all it's doing is creating a mental barrier. There's so many benefits for you. All the things that you can learn, all the things that you can gain. Every time you do something, it's going to build new relationships. You're going to be able to have more skills, have more resources, and build your mentality. And those things all work together. So every time you do something and you're not afraid to fail, you're going to gain new skills. And then you're going to connect with those inner resources that you had inside of you that you didn't connect before because you didn't think it was possible before. So failure is going to have you sitting there doing nothing, where taking action is actually going to have you connecting with those resources that are inside of you. So one of the easiest things that you can do, well, the first thing that you need to do is you can easily get rid of fear. If you need help doing that, I specifically help people do this. Go ahead and see my information down in the description of the video. However, for this video, the easiest way to go up against your fear is to take action. Now, if you're procrastinating, one of the easiest ways to get out of procrastination is to think of some different states, some different things. What gets you off of that procrastination? So let's say it's boredom. You go from procrastination to boredom. Motivation and really taking action is still a bit further away, so you want to have something bridge that gap. It could be energy, passion, excitement, enthusiasm, whatever it is. So imagine a time that you were totally procrastinating. Have you ever felt something like this before? I know I have. It's like you're procrastinating and you're just sitting there and you don't even care if you do anything that's right or wrong because you don't even care to do anything at all. And then all of a sudden, since you're sitting there for so long, you suddenly feel bored. And you're just so bored. And I'm sure you felt bored before and you're just wondering, gosh, should I finally do something? And then all of a sudden you get a jolt of energy. You start to feel that energy going through your body. And then you maybe stand up and that energy flows through your body even easier. And then you start thinking with this energy and you're thinking, wow, I can easily do something. I can easily achieve something. And then all of a sudden you're totally motivated as you're taking action, and that motivation continues to build so much that you totally forgot about that procrastination and that boredom. And you're so happy that you now have that energy and that motivation. So you need to understand how you can easily go from a stuck state to totally motivated much easier than you think. And this easiest way, like I said, you either get rid of fear or you take action. It's simple. It's all in your mind. You created a mental barrier that you're afraid to fail for something. No one cares. No one cares if you fail. No one really cares. They're not judging you. People are worried about their own selves. They're in their own spotlight. We're in our own spotlight. We're thinking about ourselves. How many times do you actually think about another person during the day? Sometimes, however, the majority of your thoughts are about you. So no one cares if you take an incorrect action. People actually like to talk to people who are doing stuff, who are taking action. They want to be around other people doing the same. So on this journey, you're going to meet other people who are actually very impressed that you're taking action and that you're doing stuff, and you're willing to have conversations with them. So fear of failure, get rid of that mental barrier. It's not worth it for you. Go ahead and comment below what you think. Maybe what's something that can really totally motivate you, or what's something that you want to try that you're maybe thinking, wow, I don't want to fail at this, but what's something that you can really try so you can instead get feedback? Because there's no failure, there's only feedback. Go ahead and like the video if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate everyone who's been supporting the channel lately, everyone who's subscribing and leaving really insightful comments with suggestions, recommendations, and questions. And thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.